Aber so schnell wie möglich den Flieger vorbereitet und versuchen Sie natürlich trotzdem noch pünktlich nach Frankfurt zu bringen.
What do you like in high pressure situations? Are you laser focused, or do you hope someone else will fix the problem? Some of us want to take the last shot in a basketball game, while some of us can identify problems endlessly, but when it's time for solutions, we come up empty. Are you a leader who can think on your toes and make adjustments and quick decisions if need be? Or do you simply think you're a leader, only to realize you truly buckle under the pressure? Do you have what it takes to save lives? Do you even get that opportunity? Charlie Victor Romeo is a 2014 theatrical documentary that is derived entirely from real transcripts from real black boxes of real flights. For anyone who doesn't know, a black box is an electronic recording device placed inside an aircraft for the purpose of investigation in case of a plane crash or any other incident in the air. There are two types of flight recorders, one of which is the cockpit voice recorder, CVR for short, Charlie, Victor, Romeo. Obviously, this black box records all sounds inside the cockpit, including all dialogue. This film is a look into the soul at the moment of truth, and sometimes that truth is death, and sometimes that truth is just a little scare and nothing more. Sometimes you live and sometimes you die. Sometimes you see it coming, and sometimes you don't. Now, this is not your normal setup of a movie. It almost plays like an anthology film. There's 6 different planes that we get to experience, and although there is editing from wide shots to close-ups to medium range shots, it is all displayed in one location and one location only, the cockpit. It feels like theater in its delivery, performance, and location. And that's not a surprise considering Charlie Victor Romeo was indeed a 1999 play created by Bob Berger, Patrick Daniels, and Irving Gregory. It was very successful too, with Time naming it one of its top plays of 1999, and the Pentagon even recorded it to show their pilots for training purposes. What's scary about this is seeing and hearing the panic, listening to the words people actually used in real life and how they expressed them. Some pilots just swear and swear out of frustrations, partially in shock, unable to lock in focus and figure out possible solutions. You see and hear the failed communication between pilots. There are other situations where it seems like pilots simply are not fully prepared and don't understand what to do in certain situations. Sometimes they're preoccupied with other things. Sometimes you can hear the fear sink in and you get to listen to them express that in ways you might not expect. The film allows a wider audience to see and hear these harrowing journeys. It might not even be the best in terms of acting, but it certainly has your attention, and you are gripped in suspense to see whether or not the crew and passengers survive each flight. The way they reveal whether these people lived or died is riveting in its simplicity. And it's almost entirely impossible not to research each of these flights. I found myself pausing Charlie Victor Romeo and Googling the flight numbers, reading their Wikipedia pages, listening to interviews, watching the crashes on YouTube, everything. After all, this film doesn't show any fiery crashes. It only shows the conversations right beforehand. So the next time you're on a plane and you feel some turbulence, the next time you hear your captain speaking to you over the intercom, telling the passengers they will have to stay in a holding flight, just imagine what may or may not be really happening in that cockpit, behind closed doors, where no one can see the fear and frustration, and pray you have a pilot and a co-pilot that are laser focused and won't crack under the pressure. Pray you have a leader. Pray that some random shit out of their control doesn't happen in the blink of an eye. Pray you land safely. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It would mean the world to me. Thanks so much.
Aber so schnell wie möglich den Flieger vorbereitet und versuchen Sie natürlich trotzdem noch pünktlich nach Frankfurt zu bringen. In Frankfurt ist ähnliches Wetter wie hier, ein bisschen wärmer, Temperatur bei 7 Grad und stark bewölkt.